So Infinity Ward held a big streaming event for Call of Duty Modern Warfare today, focusing on the multiplayer. We've got a bunch of new details, as well as some reinforcement and some things we've already known. So today we're gonna break it all down here with 7 things you need to know about Call of Duty Modern Warfare's multiplayer. There are actually more than 7 things in here, technically. We're flying fast to get you this info, so let's just get started off with number 7 and talk about the game modes. So it's a Call of Duty game, and so you're still gonna have your standard game modes that you've come to expect. Domination, deathmatch, stuff like that is still there for you to enjoy in various iterations, along with 6v6, 10 versus 10, and 20 versus 20 variations. The game will also feature the recently announced 2v2 mode that we've seen highlighted in streams called Gunfight. Which is a ton of fun, but if you missed a reveal or just need a refresher, Gunfight will throw two-player teams against each other with randomized loadouts on small maps optimized for close quarter encounters, and you'll have to take out your opponents in 40 seconds or the rules will change on the fly. There's no healing or revives in Gunfight, so the mode is clearly optimized for quick, goofy, bite-sized encounters that are a ton of fun, and it's a really good way to shake up multiplayer, especially if you're bouncing between modes. Infinity Ward also announced a new game mode called Ground War. Now, according to Infinity Ward and Activision, Ground War is, and this is their words, not mine, an epic, large-scale mode supporting more than 100 players. Now, out of that brief description, we don't really know much else about the new mode. There's some speculation that it would be the Modern Warfare update to last year's Blackout Battle Royale mode, which, if true, would see a player increase up from Blackout's 88-player maximum. But like we said, concrete details about that mode aren't really available at making this video, so time will tell. But next at number 6, we have Realistic Mode. This was briefly highlighted, you catch glimpses of it in the trailer, and honestly, this mode is so much fun that it's worth talking about on its own point on this list here. So certain maps have a night mode, and this can be taken advantage with Realistic Mode, which is kind of like a simple deathmatch mode with no HUD where the lights are completely out. Because of the new graphics and lighting engine, the dark areas of the map are truly pitch black, and you need to rely on your night vision goggles to survive. Aiming down sights activates your laser, which can only be seen if you have your night vision goggles on. This means that if the other players are creeping around in the dark and they have their goggles on, they can see you aiming. So you have to choose very carefully when you aim and perfect your shots, because you can give yourself away so quickly. Also, fun fact too, the ADS looks a little different because the character can't hold the sight close up to their face because they have the giant night vision goggles protruding, and certain guns reflect that. It's really fun and an incredibly tense mode that relies on just raw aiming and lasers and darkness, and it does exactly what it says. It feels more realistic and challenging, but it also might be the best mode the game has. It's not completely a new idea or anything, but this implementation of it is great. Next at number 5, character-wise, operators are making a return here. This time it once again is faction-based, and you choose between coalition or allegiance. Think sort of like Tier 1 operators versus rebels and smaller bands of soldiers. As previously known, there will be cosmetic stuff to unlock and customize your chosen character. Think like, pants, jackets, goggles, tactical ponchos, and those cool hoods they showed on the stream today. And the loadout that you have is as follows. Nothing crazy. A standard weapon and a primary weapon with customizations, 3 perks, and 2 tactical gadgets. But what has been confirmed this time is that there's no pick 10 system for character builds like we've seen in other games. Instead, there is a much stronger focus on weapon customization, which we'll get to next at number 4. Gunsmith mode was highlighted, which is the new weapon customization that has the potential to be really freaking awesome. With Gunsmith, you have a weapon and the system lets you pick 5 attachments for a weapon. There are gun-specific perks, like for example, you can change the caliber of a gun, like swap an AK-47 to an AK-47U, but a perk like that will take up one of the 5 attachment slots because it's special. Apparently though, with the slots, each weapon has a staggering range of 30 to 60 attachments, and they all affect a range of different stats for your weapon. There will also be paint jobs for the guns, that's been confirmed. These attachments are all individually modeled and highly realistic because Activision has like infinite money now, and it ranges from stocks, grips, sights, muzzles, undergrip, and barrels. Many of these are unique to specific weapons, and then others overlap. It seems like this is going to be one of the main areas of progression in the game. This is going to be the stuff you're working towards more than anything, and I'm really into it. Next at number 3, kill streaks make a return, and they're going to be even bigger than they have in games past. You're still going to get a lot of what you're used to as a reward for chaining kills, you know, radar, UAV, care packages, stuff like that. They function more or less the same, but some of them have new twists. But Infinity Ward took the time to feature some of the newer and more bombastic ones over the course of the multiplayer gameplay reveal, though, showing off things like the infantry assault vehicle. So after getting a 7-kill streak, you can call in support that will literally drop in an APC manned light infantry vehicle complete with a big old 50 cal machine gun on top, so you can just hop in, drive around, and tear dudes up. This could definitely make things interesting in standard multiplayer mode, since we haven't really seen vehicles in a Call of Duty game like that. I mean, like, outside of Blackout, it could be great. It's also worth noting that there's no tactical nuke as a reward for a maximum kill streak this time around. Instead, you can call in a care package with the Juggernaut assault gear. So grab the Juggernaut crate, and you're immediately outfitted in that heavy-duty assault gear and armed with this big, heavy machine gun. You saw it in the trailer. They also apparently made it so that it blasts metal music at you the whole time, but it's also not for you. It can be heard in a 3-dimensional space while other players are hearing it out in the world, which is a really cool touch, especially for a mainstream game like this, but I really appreciate that. But coming down to number 2, there are a few small gameplay changes coming to Modern Warfare as well. For example, the really cool one, doors can now be opened and closed in multiplayer in a more tactical way, which can be definitely used to your advantage, like opening a door only slightly to toss in a grenade, or you can kick it down and storm on in. If a door is within the blast radius of an explosive, that will also open the door as well. You can also mount your gun up against a wall to corner in and get a recoil bonus. Also, Infinity Ward decided to go with unlimited sprint this time around, and you're able to use a perk if you want to temporarily up your sprint speed even more. Plus, you can just sprint through those doors. Also, there's no mini-map in standard multiplayer modes, and you can also reload while in ADS. You can also get creative and think outside the box a little bit. So like if someone on your team has a recon drone, you can actually toss C4 onto it, and then boom, you have this like portable flying explosive that you can totally ruin someone's day with. There's also been some cool little details added to the game as well, which we've talked about in a previous video. Go check that out. But there's stuff like smoking gun barrels, and honestly, some of these smaller changes might not sound like a big deal to some, but you'd be surprised how much of a difference it really does make. If you watch gameranx, we've talked about it on the Friday show here and there after getting some hands-on with the game a few weeks ago, and yeah, the changes do make the game feel different. Does it feel drastically different? Not really, but it feels different enough to be significant, and we had a good time with it. Nothing in the game feels tacked on. It's fun Call of Duty with a lot more shooting people through doors and walls, and most notably, the weapons feel way more powerful and realistically convincing. And although you can't see it in the stream, visually, the game looks damn good thanks to the photogrammetry graphics technology that they're using here. Also, we're looking forward to the single-player campaign. Again, check out the vid that we did on that. Let's move on. But down to number 1, let's wrap up some more details. Call of Duty Modern Warfare is going to have an open beta, and there are a few different windows of dates to be aware of. Seeing that Activision has done a deal with PlayStation, the beta is going to go live on PS4 first, with early access running from September 12th to 13th, then opening up for other PS4 players on September 14th and running until September 16th. Then early access for all platforms will open up on September 19th and run until the 20th. Then, stay with me, September 21st to 23rd is when it will be open for all players across all platforms. Now, we don't know what modes exactly will be playable during the beta, but we do know that it will be cross-play completely. And that means console to console and console to PC, which is honestly a pretty big deal. And if that's a selling point for you, if you want to play with friends elsewhere, you'll be able to see how it works in the beta before buying. I don't know about y'all, but it is really cool to see cross-play popping up in more and more games, especially in a game as big as Call of Duty. They've also announced the Dark Edition of the game. That's like the big collector's edition that comes with, once again, an actual set of night vision goggles. These are real working night vision goggles, apparently. Whatever, it's stuff, it's new toys, that's cool, right? And one more thing, no season pass is confirmed. We've known that for a while. It's in an attempt to make sure that all players always have access to the same stuff, and the same map pack or updates will all be free to players. That is good, we commend them for that, and there's still more information to find out, and we're gonna be talking about it soon. But these are the things we've known so far. From the 2v2 stream a couple weeks back to the new live stream today, these are the things we think you guys should know. But we want to know what you guys think about this game. You've been able to watch some gameplay by now, so what are you thinking about this new Modern Warfare? Do you think it's a good return to form? Do you think it's not enough? What's your deal? Let's talk. If you learned something though, clicking the like button is the best way you can help us out. We really appreciate that. And also, if you're new, it's worth considering subscribing and hitting that notification bell because we put out videos every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.